There's another button.
I do have another button to push. Oh, I just realized we're good. We're good. We're fine with that, right?
We
We're
had
good.
2 weeks off, dog.
We
feels long.
The-
You guys
the one
had a
last
week
week-
off.
Well, we didn't. We made our own.
It's My Brother's an Idiot, the podcast. The #1 podcast in the world for 5 old people. And now, here's King Goo.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's apparently the G League around here because we forgot how to do a podcast. It's My Brother's an Idiot, brought to you by our friends at Vineyard Brands. I'm sipping on a delicious Spanish Rioja. If you get a chance to check out their La Vie Ferme Rosé in a can, it's spectacular. I am the king of the goons, and let me introduce you to the squad. MJ, what are you doing?
Are you telling me that we got a wine sponsorship and I don't have a
I
glass
just
in front
told the
of
guy
me
I'd shut
right
him
now?
out today.
Oh,
Son of a bitch.
I thought we were getting.
Yeah,
It's not really.
I was like,
It's not
damn,
really a
good
sponsor.
job.
I mean, they're a sponsor, but they're not a sponsor. But
Guy,
their
dear
wines
guy.
are delicious.
bro.
Dear guy, I also would like some wine. Send some back
Sponsorships
for me
work
to
in more
drink.
than one direction.
I've got you, fam.
Hell yeah, brother.
How you doing?
Carry on.
I'm good. I'm sleepy, but I'm good. It's gonna
Crazy.
be. It was a weird day today, but I'm excited to freeze my proverbial balls off at Coors Field later this week. So that'll
That's
be a
gonna
good time.
Yeah. All right. Good to see you, Tank. What's going on?
As I was commenting earlier to the group, I have been rebuilding my house essentially since the flooded front yard happened. So I've been doing that for the majority of the last month. But it's looking good, and I'm happy about how it looks. So I guess we'll go good with that.
Solid call with the foam orange horse head behind you. I like that.
Oh, of course. Signed by Randy Gradishar.
Nice. Hall of Fame, Randy. Gradishar.
Yeah, Hall of Famer.
Right. Exactly. That's awesome. And finally, Mark. What's shaking, bacon?
Uh-oh.
I was gonna go with the Bidoof hat, but since we're talking about Tank's hat, gotta go with the Miles hat.
For those of you who can't see us, if you're listening to us on Spotify or wherever you find your podcast, Mark is wearing a stuffy Miles head.
It's the Miles head hat. This comes out every once in a while. Gets really hot and goes away fast.
And you can't see. It's covering your eye holes.
Yeah, I can't really see much of what's going on. So if you guys are commenting, there's nobody watching us. So if there was anybody watching, now would be the time to get away with murder in the chat. But nobody's watching right now. So
Yeah,
never
nobody's
mind.
watching. It's fine. We'll find somebody sooner or later. Anyway, let's get into it. The NFL had their meetings this week and some really cool rule changes, Mark. And the one I'm really excited about, they are actually going to electronically measure first downs now.
The chain gang is officially a backup. It is no longer the rule of law. We're excited about this. I love the chain gang, but it officially became a joke when Gene Steratore pulled out the note card out of his front pocket to measure a first down in New York that one time. After that, the chain gang really has been kind of just a nuisance on the field. They cause more injuries than things that they actually help. Tennis has figured this out, guys. Tennis has figured this out. Golf kind of has this figured out. They don't do quite as much as tennis does, but baseball really took a step back this year with what they did compared to what they did in the preseason to what they're doing now. But the electronic is the way to go. Like you're doing everything else. We can all see it on TV. Why do we need to stop the play for this long? This is going to save so much time. I don't know why we're going to have the chain gang there as a backup, but apparently we're still paying those guys. So at least nobody lost their job.
Well, technology's not perfect either, right?
Sure.
It could crash.
But I'm very excited
Guarantee
about
sometime in the preseason, it's going to go down, and they're
Oh, yeah.
going to need the chain gang there. So I can appreciate that bit of it. But I'm glad there's at least some movement going forward. Tank, what rule are you excited about that they've changed?
I was going to say that one, but I like the small adjustment to the overtime rules. I think expanding it to the regular season and stuff like that is a good thing. I like that they're keeping the kickoff rule. I think that's more than any new rules. I like that they're sticking with the kickoff rule because I really like how that was implemented last year, and I think it was a good thing to stick with. So,
Well, they adjusted it too.
They leaned into it.
well, yeah, well, I mean,
they
lean
leaned
harder.
into it.
I'm just saying they're not shying away from a rule that legitimately did make sense. It is creating a little bit more something to the game that is a positive. I think so.
It's confusing at at these points in the game for most people these days, but I think another year in the system and being able to fight the exponential amount of touchbacks we see by adjusting the 5-yard difference is the most important part of that rule.
Well, and I think this year you'll see, like we saw it a couple times last year where teams were using it to their advantage, where they were kicking inside the zone in certain circumstances and stuff like that. And I think you'll see that expanded this year where people have gotten used to it a little bit. And they're like, oh, we can use this as part of the actual, scheming for our special teams. So
The other thing I like is it's exponentially safer. You don't have 250-pound world-class elite athletes running at each other full speed with a 20-yard head start.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that.
Sure.
I've said for years that the kickoff, before they made this change, the kickoff was the most dangerous play in sports. And they started to tweak it a little bit a bunch of years ago when they got rid of the wedge. But it was still it was just head on head, massive collisions, just super dangerous. And I really like, from the safety standpoint, the way it looks. Plus, to Tank's point, I think it is a little bit more exciting. MJ, any thoughts on the NFL rule changes?
I like that now overtime have at least 2 possession, because I get objectively that just don't let them score, but coin toss wins suck. Win football, not win coin toss. Win football. Make it like baseball overtime.
Where you have both innings. I like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My favorite decision was the one that they didn't make when they tabled the tush push.
Yes.
If you are against the tush push, you are soft. Play better football, right? Because one team does it better than anybody else. Come on, give me a break. Tank, you're rolling your eyes.
I see by the look on Tank's face that I just need to walk off set for like 15 minutes here.
No. It's not that bad. It's not that devastating. It's not that devastating. It's a rehash from last year. I'm not against the tush push. I'm against the concept of pushing or pulling players past their stopping point, because that's a rule that never should have went away. I don't like that. That's because you do get more injuries when you get into the pile, and it causes more injuries. It's plain and simple. There's a reason that rule did exist. They separated itself from rugby by enforcing a rule where you're not pushing or pulling players basically unwillingly across the line. And I think that's the only issue I have with it. I don't have an issue with the play itself, but I'm like, you're playing rugby now. That's not football anymore. That's a different sport.
Football is rugby. It's where it came from.
It was, but it's not anymore. I've played both. They're not the same game. There's a lot of stuff you can do on a football field that you can't do on a rugby pitch, and vice versa. They are not the same game. They're based off the same game, but they are not the same game.
And let's not forget that rule actively helped Denver win a game this year. I think we all can remember Jaleel's little feet dangling in the air.
Oh yeah,
he was
picked up and walked across. Yeah. But and that's my biggest issue. I don't have an issue with the play itself. Like, I agree with you. If you can't stop a play that's legal, tough shit. But if you're trying to enhance the careers of players and limit the injuries, that's one of the things you could do is get rid of that concept where you can push and pull players like that.
All right, and another
That's it.
news: man in Colorado Springs shouts at clouds and tells kids to get off his lawn. Moving on, let's talk about Major League Baseball. And Mark, big news: the Yankees have trotted out a revolutionary new bat. Take it away.
Snore! It's not revolutionary, nor is it new. Fans are just figuring out that it's there. It's been around for a while. Yes, the Yankees have leaned into it, but Aaron Judge isn't even using this thing yet. I saw Bregman's getting one today. I don't know how he did with it or is doing with it, but he got one today and had it in the clubhouse. In other news, I moved the logo again. I was feeling a little claustrophobic with it right there. So I moved it over there next to Tank. He had a big empty spot on the place right next to where he hides his cookies.
Exactly, it works.
But yeah, torpedo bat. I don't know, like whatever. In other news, there was a steroid thing that happened. That's slightly more important because this is the same guy who called that there's some issues with this guy. He has some anger management issues on the field from last year, if you guys remember correctly. So he gets busted with steroids. Raffy Devers. Are we just doing baseball now? Because I'm done with the
baseball.
torpedo thing. Like,
Yeah, that's fine.
Michaela, do you want before I move on?
I thought it was going to be a bigger thing, so carry on.
It's not. It's not at all. Everyone's got one. It only became an issue because the Yankees hit like an absurd amount of home runs right away.
The 3 home runs in a row on 3 pitches, yeah.
Yeah, but also don't put them right down the middle of the dick. Like the pitch placements there were fastballs right over
straight
the belt.
down the pipe. Yes.
Like, don't bitch about what they're hitting it with. I could probably hit it about 200 feet with an aluminum can if you put it right there. Michaela, do you have any thoughts on the torpedo bat?
No, Stanton's been using it for fucking 4 years.
Right. Right.
The only reason, yeah, because the Yankees did so good with it, and so now everybody wants one. But because they interviewed the guy who made it, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, we made this like almost 10 years ago, and we're just finally getting it like more than one person a year to use it." Like,
yeah. Didn't they find there was also a dugout that they found an aluminum version of the torpedo bat, and the design is like a 30-year-old design. Like, this is not a new design.
yeah,
This is just new to Major League Baseball, yes, but not a new design, and it's not even that new to Major League Baseball.
It looks like a high school softball bat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So in other news, the Red Sox kind of suck. Raffy Devers, who I didn't think looked very healthy coming into camp, came into camp about looking like he had ordered, 30 pack of Big Macs a day. He has put about 10 inches on his waistline and has yet to find the seam of a baseball.
no, he did today.
Oh, did he finally
Someone
do it today?
hasn't watched the game today.
Yeah.
No, I have not. I was doing other things.
He hit a ball.
So he is off the schneid, but not a great start, like historically bad start. But that'll be okay. He'll settle down. It'll be all right. The Red Sox are officially spending money again. Also, they signed Kristen Campbell today to a giant deal, which is awesome. So he's going to be around forever. And they also gave money to a pitcher who, unless you're looking really closely at his stats, you'd be like, why the fuck are they giving him that money? Because he pitched the last 4 years in Chicago, where the White Sox play. And so his win-loss record is atrocious because of the teams he played with. But they gave him the bag, the absolute bag. And I'm pretty excited about that. The Rockies are an interesting story this early. I sent Michaela something earlier because we were joking about it a few days ago. But I didn't realize how close to the actual mark I was on the actual statistic. Like, I just made it up. But it's the Rockies starters are a combined 0.84 ERA. The bullpen is like 10.8. And that's the story of the Rockies this year. That's literally the story. Like the guys who are in the starting lineup are doing great. Buddy Black probably could be using them a little bit longer. But Buddy Black notoriously has an early hook especially early in the season. He's always been that way. So anybody who's calling out his criticism now really hasn't focused on him this entire time. Like when he was in San Diego, that's how Jake Peavy made it, 120 years pitching the way he pitched with 8 pitches like Jake Peavy had, is because Bud Black had such an early hook there. But that's been his bag here in Colorado too, especially with the young arms. So they're complaining about the low pitch count for the starters, but you have to remember a couple of these guys just came off of Tommy John too. So you got to go easy on these arms, especially when your bullpen already looks this bad. You're going to need to eat some innings out of these guys later in the year. So I have no problem with the criticism there. Or I do have a problem with the criticism, but I'm okay with Bud Black's coaching style there. In other news, the White Sox were pretty good until I started watching them play, and then they fell apart. And then the White Sox will, fall apart. The Yankees have also lost 2 in a row. So those are the stories I have so far. Mookie Betts can still hit a baseball despite losing 135 pounds in 17 hours, which is exciting news too. He also hit a home run off of Chris Sale the other day, which was kind of depressing to watch. 2 heroes from that team. So,
You didn't even mention Atlanta's 0-6.
Yeah, I did. Call me when you're 0-20 in baseball. Like 0-6 doesn't impress me much. Like Shania Twain over here.
They're losing their asses right now.
Yeah, so. That team's not that bad though. I really don't. That team is not that bad. This is a fluke for them. They're not great, but they're not that bad. So I don't see like them pulling like a White Sox. I think more of what the interesting side is watching the White Sox actually outperform their roster to start the year is really interesting to me.
Also, the Braves have played the Padres and the Dodgers, like two very good teams.
2 really good baseball teams.
I guess.
Like if I look back at the notes, the
Braves can only go so far on the back of Chris Sale.
We both wrote down that the National League West is the best division in all of baseball last week. So,
and the Diamondbacks are doing us some fucking good too. They're like, stay down, Yankees, be on, bitch.
Yeah.
So that's what I got. Michaela, you want to add anything to that?
Tyler O'Neill did not let us down and hit a home run on opening night. Good work, bud. The Rockies have been painful to watch. Every time I see Victor Vodnik fucking stick his butt out, it makes me slide deeper and deeper into the pit of despair. Otherwise, baseball's been great. Thank God for the red zone.
Oh, big inning is awesome.
Red zone.
Baseball red zone.
Baseball red zone.
Like,
they have their
big inning.
Yeah, big inning. I was like, okay, what's going on?
It was close enough.
All right, baseball's back. A good chunk of the squad is going to be at opening day on Friday. Looking forward to that, even though it's going to be cold as shit. So good times that. We're going to have to throw the Empress into a pedicab to get her from one place to another.
And if it's that cold, we're going to see the Empress and the Emperor last 3 pitches before they are fucking out.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And I haven't got the slightest idea where these
game
seats
at all.
even are yet. As a matter of fact, I need to call that guy and figure out where my damn tickets are. All right, let's move on to we're in the playoff stretch of our other 2 major sports leagues. We'll start in the NBA, and oh God, that game last night. God, what a heartbreaker. Best game of the year in the association. Glad it was on national television. Glad we had the genius Kevin Harlan calling the game. What a way for it to end. But Nuggets still in 3rd place. They're a half a game ahead of the Lake Show. They're probably not going to keep it up because they're playing nobody against the Spurs and are getting hammered. Tank, what do you think the NBA playoffs is going to play out? How do you think it's going to play out? What do you think about who's going to be in the play-in? Who don't you want to see? Carry on.
I mean, obviously, the team that Nuggets are going to struggle with is the same team we've been struggling with all season and in last season, and that's going to be the Timberwolves. I mean, if they get in, and that's the big thing, the Timberwolves have to get in. They're in 7th right now in the Western Conference, which is not great, not terrible, but that's the most dangerous team to Denver. OKC looks damn near unstoppable, but I think I want to see how that extends into the playoffs. They still have a really young team. I don't know if they can keep up the performance that they're putting up during the playoffs that they've done during the regular season. Um, the Lakers are the Lakers. They're gonna make the playoffs, and I mean do what they've been doing recently, and they're gonna burn out just like they have been the last couple of years, I think. So, not too scared of them. Um, that's it, really. Honestly, the only teams that I think are dangerous to Denver would be if Minnesota makes it. Um, Potentially KC if they can run and gun like they have been, and then that's the ones that scare me a little. But that's it, honestly. Eastern Conference. I mean, Cleveland looks awesome, but can they beat Boston? Boston's still the most dangerous team in the East. So
Yeah, I agree. I think the only team really that Denver fears in this particular round is Minnesota. That's a team that is built to beat Denver. That's a team that is in Denver's head. I really like the effort that we saw last night. I really like that they took it seriously. And the other thing that I really liked is, you know what? They took Minnesota to 2 overtimes, missing 35 points per game because MPJ didn't play with family issues. We hope that that's not anything serious. We all know that MPJ's familial issues over the last couple of years have not been minor. So we hope that everything's all right there. And then Jamal rested the hamstring. Now, Memphis also didn't have the big Ragu and they didn't have Naz Reid. So there was some talent missing from Minnesota too, but it were 2 bench players. Mark, what do you think?
So first let's talk about the Western Conference because I want to go back to that. Yeah, the only team of any interest to me is the team that we got beat by last night, and that is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like you said, who is the GM of that team?
That would be one Tim Connolly.
Who was he the GM of?
That would be the Denver Nuggets.
So he knows exactly how they're built. So he knows exactly what to do, and that's how he built this team. They're not built to do fuck all but beat the Nuggets. They're not built to win in the playoffs. They're just built to beat the Nuggets. I think I like our. I would love to see. I'd love to see Minnesota just jump at us in the first round. I know that the likelihood of that happening is not great at this point.
It's really good. It's actually really good.
I would love to see them in the first round. Just get it out of the way. Get a 7-game slog out of the way. You're gonna have to face them anyways. Why not get them right away? Why not get them right away? Get it out of the way. Beat the shit out of them. Set the tone for the entire playoffs. You know, you played defeated and hurt, and I don't know, last year you whined at the referees the whole time. I think that this Nuggets team is going to have a little bit different feel to it. I am very nervous though because of one number 4 on this team. Russell, who I love, makes some questionable decisions. I'm not talking specifically about the thing last night. You know, obviously there were a lot of people that jumped on him last night for, you know, getting in the face of that guy, and the league came out and said that was questionable today. So, you know, whether or not it was a foul or not, it shouldn't have been called in that situation, and the league came out and admitted that today. But the other side of that story is we watched the game we watched. He had 3 or 4 decisions where I was like, what are you doing, Russ? Like I got to the point where in the second half, I was a little bit scared every time he had the ball. As MJ put it, he put a piss missile right off of the backboard at about 100 miles an hour from the 3-point arc that I'm not sure was a pass or a shot. The three of us looked at each other like, never in my life have I seen anything like that from someone who's supposed to be a pro. So he worries me a lot because he's supposed to be that veteran presence, off the bench and that kind of thing. Just the fact that he's not super consistent with his decision making. Eastern Conference wise, I think the Celtics end up winning the Eastern Conference. I don't think there's anybody else that can touch them. I think Cleveland is good, but they're too young, and nobody else is that good.
Nick's
Boston.
closest, yeah. Well, I was actually want to comment on what you said about Russ. That's not the only game that's happened. He's had a couple of games this year where some of the passing specifically is questionable. He's had a couple where you're like, where is he throwing that fucking ball? And is that a shot or is it a pass? Because he's had that happen a few times this year. So whatever's happening internally with him, yeah, they got to rein in some of that passing a little bit.
I've got some thoughts about Russ, but I'll save it till after MJ's thoughts. What do you got?
I think that so after the game last night, they interviewed Anthony Edwards, who I've decided is one of my favorite players. They were like, "Sir, what do you think about Nikola Jokic?" And he said, "I think he's the best player in the league, except for me," which I think is fucking hilarious that he would say that. He is nothing if not funny every time. I think that I don't know enough about any of the rest of these teams to make any kind of judgment, but I think the Nuggets are gonna win the championship, and I think Joker is gonna get the MVP, and I think our good friend DeAndre Jordan is gonna get whatever the fucking
Sixth man of the year.
the NBA's version of the oh fuck, what's it called? Oh no, hold on.
Man of the year.
Walter Payton?
No. Conn Smythe. He's gonna get the NBA version of the Conn Smythe, and he's gonna accept it in Japanese, and then throw a box at somebody.
Maybe.
Okay.
I love that you have leaned into my love of DeAndre Jordan.
I love DJ.
Oh, dude.
How could you not?
There was that.
He's
video.
my favorite Nugget, honestly.
He is now my second favorite Nugget. But there was that video of him like doing the spider thing, and it scared him, and he just threw the whole fucking box. And then he put out a video of him practicing Japanese. Hilarious. I love it. What a hero. That is my basketball Smythe.
So awesome. About Russ. You have to take Russ is good with Russ is bad.
Always.
You're not going to be able to change the way the man plays. He plays 9,000 miles an hour all the time. And when you do that, you're not going to be able to make the right play all the time. And what we loved about Russ coming in was he's going to get to the rack. He's going to provide energy. He's going to play a little defense. He might hit a shot from time to time. He's going to rile the other team up. He's going to definitely be on the fan side. He's going to get the fans excited. Once in a while, he's going to make a bonehead play because he's been in the league for 17 years. Like nothing's changed. He's been the same dude. Russ is one of those guys that when he's on the other team, you hate him. And when he's on your team, you love him because he's just one of those dudes. The one thing I would like to have seen from Russ last night is I would like to have seen him talk to the media afterwards. I understand that his decision not to, that's an awful, awful headspace to be in. And I would have liked to have seen him face the music. I understand why he didn't. But let's not also, we haven't even mentioned it yet. Joker had the game of the year. And I mean, 61 points, 10 and 10, just absolutely unstoppable. And we can't say it enough. You can't guard him with two people. Like they tried throwing Gobert, who he constantly eats Gobert's lunch, and Julius Randle had some. Joker caused, by my count, 19 fouls to be called last night. 19. 6 of them were on Gobert, 5 of them were on Randall, and then they're insert any number of other jabronis who were trying to slap at arms and try to steal balls and get in his way. No, we are watching the very best version of Nikola Jokic right now, and it's just, I hope that we all appreciate that we're never going to see anything like this man ever again. Maybe not even in the league, but definitely not in our city. Like I said, the only team I fear is Minnesota. I disagree with Mark. I think I would just rather them lose in the play-in, because right now they're in the play-in. Just get them out of the way, because I don't fear anybody else. They're the only team to have beaten Oklahoma City twice. They're 2-2 against Oklahoma City. The Rockets are too young. They don't know what they're doing yet. They own the Lakers, and who knows what that health is going to look like when you get into a playoff series with the Lakers. The Warriors, they've matched up well with the Warriors even before. They were always good against the Warriors, even before this championship window opened. Memphis is just garbage and fired their coach. What are they doing over there? And then you've got LA, the Mavs, and the Kings. That no other team scares me in the Western Conference. Get Minnesota the fuck out of there. And here's the thing. They're 7th. So it's not like they're a fantastic team in the Western Conference. Now they're only, 2.5 games behind Denver. So it's a really tight race, but they're still 7th. Get them out of there. I don't want to see them beat it.
I could see them lose a play-in game against Sacramento or Dallas, honestly.
I can't see anybody beating or anybody losing to Dallas.
I mean, they're rough.
Dallas has no heart.
But yeah.
Mark, what do you got?
The first off, anybody losing to Dallas in any kind of playoff fashion will get ridiculed mercilessly by a GM-less team. Second off, Matt, I think it's interesting that you, of all people, Mr. Score More Points, would want to get rid of your only competition on the way to a championship.
No, I want a ring, dude. I mean,
right.
Score more points. There's 2 different philosophies here. Nope, there's 2 different philosophies. There's score more points, take the refs out of it. I don't want to see the team that's in your head. I don't want to have anything to do with that team. Just like when we get into the NHL, I don't want to see Dallas. It's going to happen, but I don't want to see Dallas.
True.
Right?
I was setting you up for that.
I don't want to get into the playoffs. I don't want to get into the playoffs as a Denver Bronco fan and have to go to Kansas City. I don't want to have to do that. I want rings. That's what I want. And that's the best way to do it is let's not even – don't get me wrong. If it happens and they have to face Minnesota, I would love – and if they beat them, I will be ecstatic and over the moon because it'd be awesome. I'd be pulling for that 100%. I don't want to see it. I don't want this for this team as it's currently constructed. Next year, we'll see what it looks like. Maybe the kid comes back from the Achilles. They've got a different makeup. Who knows? Maybe they're a little bit healthier. Who knows? I don't care. I don't want to see Minnesota this year. No, thank you. But I see your point, but it's 2 different philosophies.
Understood. I thought it would be funny.
Heard. All right, let's move on to the NHL. Dipshit, we're going to start with you. Let's break down the NHL playoff races. What do we got?
So there's the 4 divisions, and 3 teams come out of each division, and then 2 teams come out of each conference. Toronto just clinched a playoff spot, and I just saw that even though they clinched a playoff spot and they're currently in first in their division, they only have a 4% chance to win the cup, which is very leafy of them. The Atlantic is going to be a fucking bloodbath no matter who makes it. It's looking like it's going to be Toronto, Tampa, Florida. Probably Tampa or Toronto first, and then whoever is second and third are just going to beat the shit out of each other. And then fourth is probably going to be Ottawa. Probably Ottawa. Washington in the Metro. I just fucking was like, oh, look at this title chase for the OV goal record. What if we just fucking ran with it like maniacs? So they're crushing it. They've already clinched as well. Carolina also just clinched in the Metro. In the Pacific, Vegas clinched, and I don't think Los Angeles or Edmonton have clinched, but they're both well on their way. And then the West, or the Central, which is the one that we care about, is going to be a lot like the Atlantic, where the first seed is going to have a beautiful, easy time against either St. Louis or, I mean, at worst, St. Louis. And then it's just going to be the 2 and the 3, Dallas and Colorado, who are just going to beat the fuck out of each other for 7 straight games. And then have to move along onto Winnipeg or St. Louis, or let's be honest, Winnipeg. It all, the Atlantic and the Central, like I said, bloodbaths. The Metro and the Pacific, not bloodbaths. I would not be shocked if we saw Washington in the final. Ovi getting that 895. Well, fuck, at that point it would probably be like 900 in the final, would just be chef's kiss.
Mark, what do you got?
No notes. No notes. I'm gonna let that one breathe. Go Avs. They need to make a run. Got to make a run.
Tank, thoughts?
Yeah, Dallas is still scary to me. And we're doing decently, but we still have the same issue we've had the whole season. Basically, we're giving up too many goals in games that we shouldn't be giving up goals. We score well, but we still give up too much. I think that's my opinion. But I really don't want to play Dallas. Like you said, I think that's going to be just merciless if we have to go against Dallas again. What?
It's just the way you said what you said had me thinking about another very famous hockey quote.
He sucked at a time where he shouldn't suck. Gotcha. Okay. But I mean,
scoring goals when you shouldn't be letting scores be scolded.
Well, no, but okay. I know that sounds silly and it sounds so elementary, but that's the reality of the situation. Is we're giving up goals in games where it's like, why is that happening? Because it's easy goals is the issue, It's those weird streaks that they have where they just give up too many easy goals in a row, and it sucks. And with the teams that we're likely to play going deeper into the playoffs, they have better goalkeeping than we currently do, unfortunately. And that just makes it scary. I think Toronto's going to fall apart again because they always do. Sorry,
I'm gonna go taste test some fucking 9mm. See you guys later.
Sorry about that.
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain, baby.
Right. Tank, I think you're on the right track, but I think you're looking at the wrong place. Your goals against for your starting goaltenders this year are sub 2-2. Blackwood's 2-1-4. Wedgwood's just over 2. The problem is when the D core gives the puck away inside their own D zone. And that's what's leading to some of these goofy goals. They are playing out of their mind. They're just getting, in some cases and sometimes, being hung out to dry. This is a really, really good hockey team that solved its biggest issue in goaltending. I mean, they had where is he? Lithuanian? Help me out, dipshit. Where's Gorgia from? He's not Russian.
Belarusian.
Belarusian, yeah. Who couldn't get his head screwed on straight. And Eustace just couldn't figure it out. When Darcy was great, and God damn it, brain sucks. Who was the backup to Darcy? God, he was
my boy, Frankie.
Frankie. Yeah. Franchus. He was awesome in relief. And when those two guys went away, they definitely had a problem, and they fixed it. The goaltending's fine. It's just a matter of them putting all this together and playing cohesively. I don't want to see Dallas. Like, Colorado has never won a cup when they've had to go through Dallas, ever. It's almost like the kiss of death. However, it's looking like they're going to have to play Dallas in the first goddamn round. And I don't want to have any fucking thing to do with it, because as scary as Hellebuck is in goal, as good as some of those other teams are, Dallas is the only one that really concerns me, because I think they're set up to play well against everybody else. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Anything else on hockey, guys?
Ovechkin gonna have beat Gretzky tomorrow.
What's he, 3 behind now?
4 to break,
4
and
to
they've
break.
got 3 games left.
So he's not good. I mean, wouldn't that just be a hat trick to beat him at the last game? That'd be such an OV thing to do.
That would be.
He's over. I think he's over a goal a game right now.
Mm-hmm.
He is on a.
Yeah, he's on a heater.
He's on a
fucking
tear.
crap.
Yeah, he's on an absolute heater. When do the knees go out? I mean, at some point, this man's going to have to retire because he's 100.
No,
Bro-
he doesn't.
Bro
Not
would
the way
have
he
to
plays.
skate for that to happen.
Yeah, he
Bro
doesn't go
sticks
very
his
far.
ass on the right face-off dot and just
Right,
fucking
uh-huh.
waits for that
Yeah.
puck to come to him.
It just-
He moves.
just
He
smacks
moves
it.
about 45 feet from the bench, and that's about it.
At some point, it's going to happen.
He is not taking pointers from his fellow Russian. He is not forecheck, back check, paycheck. He is stand and paycheck.
I'm gonna stand here and you get the puck to me. How about that?
Feed me Seymour right here.
All right, that's enough NHL talk. Let's get into dipshit of the week. And as always, we start with our one and only dipshit.
Sorry, I just got distracted. My friend just told me to suck on her lightning nuts.
What?
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Interesting.
There we go.
Anyway, now I am sad. The dipshit of the week is the Nintendo, because they just put out a Nintendo Direct for a full hour. This is a loving dipshit of the week. They just put out a full hour Nintendo Direct for the new Nintendo Switch 2, and in it they included a new Mario Kart game where you can play as Waluigi, but you can also play as the Cataquax. What the fuck is a Cataquack? It's that little blue bird bitch that's on the beach in Mario Sunshine.
Yep.
And also the cow from Moo Moo Meadows.
Wow. Yes.
And also fucking random Pianta. Just the whole 1 hour presentation was crazy because they were like, look at all these cool games. We're getting Elden Ring and Yakuza 0. And also here's the Deltarune announcement. Here's the Silk Song announcement. Also, exclusive FromSoft game. It was just a very crazy 1 hour at 7 o'clock this morning. And also,
All right.
you can play Waluigi on Mario Kart.
I mean, that seems like a reason not to be a dipshit, but
It is loving dipshit.
okay. Awesome.
Positive.
Love it.
Positive connotation.
Tank, what do you got?
I don't really have anything right now. I guess I'm referring to the G League as the Brawny League is the thing that irritated me the most in the sports world this week, but even that's kind of who fucking cares. No, nothing actually. I don't really have any dipshits this week that I would, outside of the political situation of the current of the country. I don't really have a whole lot of dipshits this week.
Yeah, that's not this
We
show.
don't
Mark,
talk
what do you
about
got?
We don't talk about that here.
Exactly.
Mine is sort of a loving dipshit of the week. For those of you who love good Swedish metal as much as the next person, have realized that Ghost has entered a new era. They just came out with a new single. They've announced a new tour. They will be in town shortly after my birthday, and I plan on going. But with this announcement, they brought in a new Papa. So Papa 5 Perpetua is the new guy. He's purple. He looks awesome. He's got a big top hat. He's very voodoo. Big pointed nails. He's dope. But suddenly, Papa Emeritus number 4 is out of a job. And they released a video today showing that he's now in charge back at headquarters of the entire religious cult. They don't even have an office set up for him yet. So he's just kind of chilling on the couch trying to find stuff to do. So, you know, maybe get off your ass and like find this man something to do, you know, around your organization. He looks like he's not having a great time. So, your old head man, just maybe take care of him. He did you some good out there. We love the new guy, but just take care of the old guy. That's it.
If Guar had taken care of the old guy, Odorous would not have died at 50. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Anytime I get to drop Odorous Arungus into the podcast, is a good thing.
We were talking about Ghost. Talking about people who actually know how to play musician instruments.
Well, they're fun.
Oh my God. I'd like to reestablish the dipshit of the week as Matt, who tried to put a Guar in as a ghost thing. Oh.
I didn't. I was just saying Odorous Arungus. Blothar. It's great. All right. I do have a fun-ish dipshit, and it's no surprise that the Cincinnati Bengals haven't got the slightest idea what they're doing in terms of dealing. Who's beeping?
My Instant Pot.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Go turn off your bone broth, bro. Katie Blackburn, who's the daughter of Mike Brown of the famously cheap and incompetent Cincinnati Bengals, went on some platform, I don't even know where it was, and basically called out their stud defensive lineman Trey Hendrickson and said, he could be happy. He could just say yes to what we're offering, and he'll just have to deal with it. Cincinnati, I get that you're trying to show that you're spending money. Signing 2 amazing wide receivers, it might be a good thing. You need a defense. You need to stop people, and pissing off your stud defensive lineman, Trey Hendrickson, is not the way to do it. You continue to show how next to the Browns, you are probably, and the Raiders, I would say, are probably the second or third most trash organization in the league in terms of how you're running your affairs. Do not do stuff like this. This is just insanity, and you are a dipshit for doing it. That's all I got to say about that. All right, final thoughts. Talk about the things. Tank, take it away.
Yeah, not much going on with me right now, but fixing the house, getting cookies going soon again. Now that I have a kitchen again, you can catch me on all the socials at Tank Knox or Knox Nostalgic Collectibles. I have been in the development of some new cookies, so be on the lookout for those at Frank the Tank's Cookie Bank.
Outstanding. MJ, what do you got?
May the blessings of the Rapid Man be upon you always. He also would like to blessed are the doggos, for they are the joy bringers. Go watch Rapid Soccer. It's entertaining.
I'm actually playing pretty well. Mark, what do you got?
I was introduced to the glory of Rapid Man this past week on Friday when the mascots gathered. The mascots gathered across the land and oddly from Atlanta to join in celebration of Rocky's birthday. I believe I heard he was 16 years old, although that doesn't really sound right to me because I remember Rocky when I was a little kid. So 16 doesn't sound right to me, but that's what they said. We watched it happen. The man cheated at musical chairs. He brought a bone and threw Bernie's scent off and threw him off so he could have the last musical chair on his birthday. He cheated, but we let it happen because we love Rocky. I'm a little amiss because they left off one of the mascots here locally, and that's the mascot of this podcast, and that's one Gene Mingo. He is the mascot of this podcast, and he should have definitely been invited to this mascot celebration. We love you, Gene Mingo. We wish you were there, and hopefully we can talk to you very soon.
5 out of 5. I love it. Rocky's 34. He debuted in 1990.
They kept saying 16.
I'm not sure where you heard 16, but he's been around forever.
Yeah, I know. I remember when I was a kid.
Yeah. What a great show that was, right? They brought the Atlanta Hawk. They brought out the Suns Gorilla. Yes, MJ. You're muted, you giant dipshit. You're
Audio.
still muted.
Mute.
Audio.
Hit the button. Nope, still muted. I don't know what you've done.
Spoken.
Boken.
happened?
Oh, what happened?
Oh.
Oh, your shit's borking. Nope. Still nothing. Still nothing.
Still nothing. Oh my god.
I'm gonna change my dipshit. MJ's the dipshit because she managed to break her audio setup within about 5 minutes of talking. So well done. Nope, still nothing. You just keep working on it, and I'll keep talking. So yeah, they had that great dunk contest, and the Rapid Man tried to do a flip and missed the dunk. I will say this: it's a new Rocky. Not this year, but maybe last year. The old Rocky retired. The new Rocky came in. This Rocky is badass. He hits that half court shot with regularity. That can't be anything that's even simple to even think about, even though you're going over the top of your head, backwards half court is hard to begin with. He's doing it not being able to see anything. He's got this giant thing on his head.
Not to mention awesome. that thing is an impediment in and of itself. You have to avoid that thing.
What the fuck?
We're having to read backwards.
Hold it up a little higher.
Hold it up higher. There we go.
What the fuck? Gorilla. Oh, the Suns gorilla.
Yeah.
Why is this? I told you there is a Suns fan in our family. You should have texted him and asked him.
The Suns gorilla and then the Hawk from Atlanta was there. I was confused by both of those. Didn't seem very regionally appropriate, but whatever.
That's okay.
Rapid Man was awesome. Like he went after Rocky came back because Rocky missed the half court shots, and then during the next commercial break, it took one last one and hit it like a boss. But then right after that, they had a bunch of extra time. So they had a Rapid Man try a couple of the half-court shots. And he was really close. That first one, he missed by 3 inches.
Oh, yeah. He hit the rim.
It was amazing.
Put that lead comment up, Mark.
This
Neil
one?
Schroeder is asking a question. Yeah. No, the one before that.
Howler's good, too.
Yeah, the new Rocky, the old Rocky's kid, that is absolutely correct. The new Rocky is the son of the old Rocky. So great job. Good call out there. Yeah, gorillas doesn't make sense. But I mean, the Suns, what else are you going to do? I mean, you can pick anything, I guess, right?
I mean, you could rip off Nintendo and do the giant sun.
Yeah, maybe the Teletubby son, just have a kid. Mike Buddy broke.
They should do that.
Mike Buddy's broke.
Is Mike Buddy broke?
Yeah, Mike Buddy's borking.
Michaela is dead inside.
You're not usually the one to have tech issues, so this is
that's usually me.
Yeah. Oh,
no,
Borkin. Your Yeti's borking.
Porky.
Looking ahead, we're going to have more goons coming your way. Definitely, we've got more playoff stuff to cover. The draft is on the way, so we will do a draft preview. We're also going to do a WrestleMania preview because I think that's going to be super fun. I have not quite finished all of Raw, but I've seen enough spoilers to know that it was thrilling, to say the least. Definitely
Roman Reigns is the best bad guy in the world right now. Still.
Well, did you see John Cena's promo last night? Or
I did.
Monday night. That was really good.
That was good. But Roman talking
really
shit to CM Punk was the funniest thing in the fucking world.
Roman's really good. What did I see today? Someone's coming back. Oh, Rusev. They re-signed Rusev.
I saw Rusev.
I saw that too. So look for Rusev to we'll talk more about it here in a couple of weeks. We've got like 3 weeks to get after it. And Mark needs to do some research because he's not been watching it as much. But we'll definitely do a WrestleMania preview. We'll definitely talk about the NFL draft and more nerd stuff as always, which is always fun. Make sure you catch us on all of our social channels. You can find My Brother's an Idiot on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. Just search either at The Idiot Goons or My Brother's an Idiot on Facebook. You can also find us on X at The Idiot Goons. You can find Mark.
Success.
Yay. Your mic is not borking anymore.
Not borking.
Not borking. Good job. You can find Mark on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok at Poffle Time. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Pofflepugus or on TikTok at King Goon Smoke. Make sure you take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and take care of each other. For the absent Muty, we love you, Muty.
We love you, Muty.
Quick update. After not starting off very well at all, the second and third string of the Nuggets are beating the Spurs 93-92. So let's carry that on.
Nice.
Keep going. There you go. Last I heard that Russ had a double-double. Maybe learned a little bit. Maybe. Who knows? For Mark, MJ, and Tank, my name is the King Goon. This has been My Brother's an Idiot. We'll catch you next time.